Well, good evening and welcome to Coach's Corner on the eve of South Jersey Group 4 Championship. Tomorrow night, the Millville Thunderbolts will be facing the Mainland Mustangs in one of those matchups that you like seeing in a championship game. Two very good programs, two very good teams going at each other. It's the fun time of the year. I like to think of this as Christmas in November when it comes to high school football. This is the time of year when all the playoffs are in action and teams are going at it. And the way that Millville's played the last few years, you guys are always in the thick of things. My name is Fred Melendez. I'm sitting in for Tony Trongone tonight. We have our head coach, Bert Ayala, and our assistant coordinator, offensive coordinator, Chris Crowley, as our guest tonight. And Coach, this has to be a fun time of year for you. Talk about what this time of the year is like for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, because, you prep all summer, from the winter, right? You start getting in the weight room in January or whenever it is, and you go through that whole process, prep, go into July, mini camp, and then you get into August. So, just everything that goes into preparing to get you to this moment. So to have the opportunity to play in this game, there's just so much value to it because this is what these kids, put that time into.
Right. And the preparation course has led up to this 9-1 record. You started the season with that tough loss to Toms River, but ever since then, there's been some spots offensively, like we were talking about, how it takes a little while to gel sometimes, but your defense always makes things happen. And as soon as the defense makes a play, it seems like everybody else gets in line.
Yeah, listen. I think we've progressed from week to week. The numbers show offensively where we've progressed from week to week.
Mm-hmm.
At a high school level, you're going to have hiccups, altering some of the things we did this year in comparison to what we were doing last year, because to come into another year and think you're going to be able to do the same exact thing without tweaks and little different kinks added in, you're setting yourself up for failure. So, with those little tweaks we've done, it took time. And, our defense held down the fort for that time being. And now we're we're playing on, all cylinders.
What I like about the Shawnee game, first of all, you had to tell your kids, I know we beat them earlier this year. Don't get a big head about that. We still have a game to play. We have to play all 4 quarters. And that's something that I'm sure by now your kids understand.
Yeah, listen, a lot of our kids have played in these big moments. So, it's not like they don't get rattled in that moment. It's not like it's something new to them. So, we wanted to make sure that we just told them, we had the whole narrative that everybody was bringing up 2018, this and that. And, it's not always easy to play a team twice. So, you didn't want to have any hiccups. You didn't want to take them lightly. You didn't want to look into the last time we played them too much.
Right.
Because they're a well-respected program. They're well-coached. So we wanted to make sure we prepared and we went out there and executed at a high level.
Yeah, you talk about a program. Tim Gashu, of course, has been there for a good number of years, maybe 20 or so. I remember covering him back in the day, so he's still there leading the Renegades program, and he does a great job with those kids, obviously, or else he wouldn't be there. But started the game the other night. I think they got 1 first down, and then you held them a big sack by number 58. Is that Blackowitz?
Blachowicz, yeah.
I can never say that name right.
Yeah.
He's been playing off the hook, too, this year.
Yeah, listen, about a month ago, he picked up his first offer from Pitt,
okay.
And he's got, I think, 37 to 40 tackles on the year with 8 sacks. He's so explosive, and he's just a monster. And he's a very good athlete. So being explosive and a good athlete in that inside, and as strong as he is, he creates havoc. And he's been playing at a high level. And
he brings intensity that you love seeing on defense. You want your players to really be intense about getting to the football. We've talked about this before.
Listen, he's a great offensive lineman too. So he just got first team all conference offensive line as well. He's very good at that left tackle for us.
Yeah, I know we did this before. Talk about your offensive line, because a lot of times your running backs have lanes that are just wide open. They can go through there, and then the speed takes over once they get through there. Talk about that offensive line a little bit.
Listen, they're workhorses, but we made sure, I know we wanted to have emphasis, and I had dialogue with Chris. We wanted to be better in the run game this year than we were last year. I don't think we were as efficient as we could have been, where it was like our running backs were making a lot more happen than us having the scheme to make it happen. So, having Chris come on board, and it's probably an area he's been, expert in those kind of areas, and really has a high knowledge of that stuff. So he was able to help tweak some things, but we have the bodies that can move guys. And, you got 3 guys on that line who've come back, and then we added Isaiah Johnson, who's 6'3", 305. Octavian Spence came in, and has really made a big name for himself there too. So, we're hefty up front.
Now, the after that first opening drive by Shawnee, you took over possession, and we were used to seeing a lot of quick scores, whether it's a pick six or just a couple plays and you're in the end zone. The first drive the other day, I believe it was like 13 plays. Let me get my notes here. I wrote it down. 13 plays, 74 yards, and a good mix of running and passing. 9 runs, 4 passes to get to the end zone, and the 1-yard run by Jamal Wallace got you on the scoreboard. So that opening drive, you really set the tone. Basically, you control the ball, which is what I think Shawnee wanted to do, and you got to score on that first possession.
Yeah, listen, we played football. Like, I remember him up top. He's like, yo, that's football right there. You know what I mean? Because everybody looks at us and says, oh, Brooks this, Teron Hale this,
Oh, no.
Oh, they're going to – nah, we could play football. So, we could sustain drives. We can, put everything together and make it happen. So, and I think that's what we did.
Well, you have a running core of Demir White, Naeem Sharp, and Jamal Wallace. Those 3 guys, any one of those guys could dominate a game for you if you just gave them the ball.
Yeah. We're fortunate to have all 3, and I think we do a great job using all 3.
Yes, you do.
In spell, like we don't even go a whole drive with just one. We spell them in and out throughout a drive. So.
Yep. And just looking at the numbers real quick, these are my numbers from just watching the game. So if they're off, they're off.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, we had 57 yards for Naeem Sharp running the ball, 30 for Demir White, and Jacob scrambled around for 36, and Jamal Wallace had that 148-yard run that set up a touchdown.
Yeah.
So it's a great mix of people that you have running the ball.
Yeah. We're just, like I said, we're fortunate, and we got like a little bit of everything. You got your scatty, you got your toughness, you got your straight downhill guy. So,
All right, Jamal scored on the 1-yard run to start the scoring, and then Naeem Sharp. Where did that play come from? The halfback option pass. That was an awesome play.
Well, we have a couple kids who can throw the ball a little bit, and so it's always good when you can actually get one of those guys an opportunity. He had Brooks wide open on that, and you got to respect him. He gets out and goes, and probably could have got out there a little further, but Brooks made a great adjustment on the play, got in the end zone. Most guys are tackled probably at the 10-yard line there, and he got out of that and kind of made us right. And I don't know if what Sharp's passing stats are, but I know he's got a touchdown on his resume, so it's kind of cool.
Well, he put the ball up there. I believe it was like a 40-yard pass itself. And you're right. Latsier made a great comeback to the ball, and I'm impressed that there were 3 defenders there. Yeah. And Brooks was not going to be stopped from getting that final 10 yards.
No, he's a special kid. I mean, we see it continually, where he's making catches. Guys have him on the sideline. He gets out of it. Just a real high football IQ kid. Just really, really smart football player. And, obviously we see the athleticism. But, you have to have a feel for the game to be able to set some of the things he set up. I mean, you go back to the Cherokee game, Northern Burlington game. I mean, he's got guys running into each other, blocking each other. So, again, you can say, is that instinctive or, what is it? But, I think what we're seeing and what we're witnessing is pretty special.
That 90-yard return for the touchdown against Cherokee on the interception.
Yeah.
He set up some people to run into each other. Now that you mentioned it, a couple of Cherokee players, they crashed into each other. And I love the fact that your guys, once you turn the defense into offense, everybody's blocking. That convoy to the end zone on that interception showed how great that is.
Yeah, that's great to see.
Now,
we preach it. I know he came in preaching it about we want to see 11 people in the end zone celebrating. We want everybody to celebrate because it's this is the biggest team sport you could play. So, when one person scores, everybody played a role in that happening. So everybody should be celebrating.
Absolutely. And now Jamal Wallace came on in the second quarter. That long the run that set up his touchdown. I think there was a penalty on the play against Shawnee as well. That puts on the 9-yard line.
It's a face mask or something.
No, they said it was the chop or something.
Some kind of block.
Chop
block.
Defender,
that's what it was. And then the very next play, he takes it in. I'm enjoying watching Jamal Wallace power run. I mean, he's not going to be denied.
He's a load. What is he, 220, I'll say? He's 220.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
a big
like,
kid,
he's-
and he gets downhill. He gets those shoulder squared to the end zone, and guys they're not wanting to get away with that. I mean, we've seen it a couple weeks in a row now where he's down there, and guys are kind of just not getting to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're making business decisions. You know what I mean? Not to get in there, but. Jamal's he stayed with it all year, and now again, we've played a lot of running backs this year. Obviously it's hard. Kids want to get out there. They'd be number ones in any other program. So for our guys to be able to really buy into just being selfless and getting their opportunities, it's great to see when they get out there and get it done.
The third touchdown, now was only 14 to nothing at the halftime, right?
No.
Probably
I'm sorry. Yeah, that was Jamal's. Yeah, 21. I'm sorry. See, I'm reading notes here, but nonetheless, it was 21-0 halftime. And the third quarter, you guys got a fourth touchdown early on in that fourth quarter. As a matter of fact, 5 plays, 57 yards, and Zamot found Brooks again. You want to come out of the locker room and get that touchdown right away just to set the tone.
Yeah, I mean, listen, pedal to the metal. You want to just keep moving. Like, we don't want to come out and take anything lightly. The one thing we always preach is it's 0-0, and we want the guys coming out of half as if the score is that 0-0. Same mentality that you would come out for that. So with that in place, that's resonated well enough for the players to come out with that mentality and just keep it moving.
Now, the one touchdown that Shawnee did get, I don't want to say it was a botched play, but it was almost an interception that got through to the receiver. We're going to talk about that in a little bit with the man who wanted that pick for sure.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it got through, and Shawnee wound up scoring the 62-yard play. Other than that, the defense shut them down. That was the one big play.
I think they had 30 yards rushing.
Yeah.
I think we've had 40 yards rushing. The teams have been averaging 40 yards on the ground on us a game. We're big up front. We're big. Our in the box, we're big. Our linebackers are very athletic, strong, great read, they're very instinctful. And then our D line is vicious. Sometimes I think people don't realize how big we are until they see us.
Only 28 yards rushing is what I had. And, anybody can keep any team that low is going to be successful, and that defense got it done. In fact, they only had 53 total yards at halftime, did Shawnee. So
I saw that. Yeah.
It's an amazing way that these guys play some defense. Then let's go back a little bit here to the actual scoring sequence. We had the Shawnee touchdown, and then your guys got the last 2 touchdowns of the game. Jacob with that screen pass to Latsier. He turned that short pass into a long touchdown. Again, just a great field vision. You can talk to this Coach Crowell a little bit.
Yeah. Jacob got the ball out there, and we had some great blocking on that play. Marty was out there. Marty Collins was out there with the first initial block. He had Marcus Offer, and then Darian was actually the cleanup guy. He was out there running, and it was kind of a convoy again to the end zone, and kind of hit him at the right time with it, and Brooks kind of made us right.
Well, I love the fact that Blackowitz wears 58 because that's my birth year, so I get a little bit of kick. I'm a numbers guy. I'm weird with numbers and things, but he just is a fun player to watch as well. Marcus Offer, we've talked about him before. He's just all over the place defensively, especially. Then the screen pass came, and last touchdown was scored by the man who we're going to have on the TV here in just a second, Joey Zamot with the 41-yard pick six. You guys, whenever you get a pick, it looks like you're going to try to score on that particular play. That's what's amazing about the defense.
Yeah, what do we have? How many defensive touchdowns did it?
Like 8 or 9.
8 or 9 defensive touchdowns on the season.
Points.
Wow.
So, I think we have
17
interceptions. So, we're a threat defensively, too. So, we have Coach Core does a great job. That whole defensive coaching staff does a great job. I'm fortunate, that we have the coaching staff that we have. I know we made some coaching changes coming into this season, and I knew that there had to be there was value in bringing on the right personnel to solidify our staff to put the kids in the best position possible, and it happened. So
Okay, very good. I'm going to take a quick break right now. I'm going to talk about some other things here. Of course, we have the Mainland game coming up. We have two players coming up that we're going to talk to. And, of course, we're going to get a little more into the offensive side of things with Coach Crowley a little bit to see how that goes. But stay with us here on Coach's Corner. We'll be right back after this.
Guys, bring up those two red chairs.
Allen Associates is a family-owned and operated full-service agency, managing a broad base of clients in the New Jersey area. Allen Associates has been a leader in health benefits and financial services including health, prescription, life insurance, pension, 401k plans and estate planning. With more than 60 years of experience and a staff of highly trained and dedicated professionals, Allen Associates is noted for its ability to build strong, long-term relationships with our clients and the communities we serve. Give them a call today at 856-692-2250. Allen Associates, your complete health and financial services, Vineland, New Jersey.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you,
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day.
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high-quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. Fred Melendez sitting in for Tony Trongone this week. Mainland's on the horizon, and of course the South Jersey Sectional Championship is on the line as well. We're joined by a couple of the players, but I'm going to focus on Chris Crowley for a second here. What year is this coaching for you in Millville?
It's my first year here in Millville, yes.
So when you came here, what did you want to instill in the offense?
Well, Coach Ayala became the head coach last year. Coach and I have a connection. We worked together when I was the head coach of Woodrow Wilson.
Okay.
Coach was with us, so I kind of knew Coach very well from then. And then, he was looking for some coaches to come on board. And, we talked in the off season a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd watched some of their games here and there, but I really didn't really know a lot about them.
Right.
But, he's telling me, we got a lot of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I came down and I realized, he's got some guys. So, just got acclimated and just tried to adjust to, the program, and everything's going well so far.
And how many years in coaching have you been?
20-some
20-some?
years. And yeah,
Okay.
it's been a while.
So Coach Ayala kind of made you the mad scientist of the offense.
I won't go that far, but just
There's some restraints.
Just get in there and just get with the kids, and I think as you can see, we've kind of evolved a little bit as the season's going on. I think one of the big things that we're going to do is we're always going to play to our strengths. So one of the advantages that I think we do have is we have a lot of different personnel groupings, right?
Right.
Whereas last year they were more of a four wide receiver type team. Our one of our assets is just the multitude of kids that we have out there that just we can kind of put kids in different spread sets and some tighter sets, and I think they kind of really it's a bind on a defense, for preparation and what have you. So it really helps when things are going well, and right now I think the guys are running the system pretty well.
Now, we talked about how you're not just a passing team, you have the running backs to get the job done. When you came in and saw the running back core that you had, did you see the strengths that would develop into this 9-1 season?
Well, I didn't look at it as far as records concerned. I mean, obviously we have a very talented group of kids up front. So you have that going, and then you have, you got your H-back tight end types. You got all these guys, and I think that kind of, I wouldn't use the word evolving, but going from where they were last year to kind of morphing into what we are now. I think at first was probably a little bit of uncomfort, a little bit, because it just looked a little bit different. But the numbers are the same. You know, I think that we're much more balanced, I think. And again, I just think it's a way to get more guys on the field that are going to put us in the best, situation to be successful.
Now, we talked about the first drive of the game, 9 runs and 4 passes, so that's the kind of balance that you're trying to establish as well. Get that running game going so that the passing game works and vice versa.
Yeah, well, Coach Gushue is a great coach, and he's got his offensive coordinator is an ex-head coach, Dennis Scuderi Jr. They got a lot of really good coaches there, so we just felt that it was going to be one of those games where we're going to have to show another aspect of who we are. We can play a lot of different styles. It helps when our defense is as good as they are. So we really preach being playing complementary football. I mean, we don't have to take a lot of chances if we don't have to. We can if we want to. But in that first series, it was like, what, let's play some football here and let's put a drive together. And we're not a one-trick pony. I mean, it's great that we got guys and what have you, but there's a lot of ways that we can hit you. So that was one of the things that you kind of saw in that drive.
That was a great opening drive for sure. Working with a quarterback like Jacob Samad, what's that like for you?
Jacob's been great. He's our guy. Phenomenal year last year, phenomenal year this year. He's going to be very successful moving forward. He's just a great kid. Comes from a great family. He's been wonderful. You know what I mean? He's very coachable. It's not always easy coming in and coaching a kid who's thrown for a gazillion yards and a gazillion touchdowns, and it's not an easy thing. And he made it great. And I think that he's playing his best football right now, which I think is a credit to him, his teammates, and Coach Ayala for just kind of entrusting him to be the guy.
And obviously, you want to be peaking offensively at this time of the year. The games are bigger, the competition's bigger. You have a sectional final and 2 more games, hopefully, in the state tournament. So this is the time of year when you want to get all the offensive things going.
Yeah, we're playing pretty well right now, and I think that we're where we want to be. Obviously, we got a very difficult opponent with Mainland coming up. There's a history with the 2 programs going back to last year, at least. I know it's a game that they thought that they should have had, and they're coming into our place this year, and our kids are really excited about that. Getting a chance to play this game at home. I mean, it's the first time that this game has been played at a home facility.
Oh, how about
that I'm aware of. Generally, this was a neutral site game, right?
Yeah.
Last year was?
No, last year we were at Hamilton.
Yeah.
The next game, state semifinal.
Well, the final, technically the final, the South Jersey final was the first one. But it's just a cool kind of thing, and to be able to get out there and play this big game at our place, and it's gonna be a fun atmosphere.
What's it like to be at home for all these games, by the way? The fact that you have the home crowd behind you and you guys give them something to cheer about.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Trongon did a phenomenal job with getting that facility done and the community getting that done, and just getting out there, and just the facilities are just top notch. I mean, they're like college type facilities. Wow. You know what I mean? The field is awesome. I always talk about the field, just the orange on the field, it just pops. The press box is, Coach Ayala would tell me, "Oh, you're gonna wait till you see this press box. When you see this press box, the press box is, I haven't seen a high school stadium with a press box like that. So the facilities are just top notch, and I think that obviously the kids deserve it, and I think the kids are kind of showing why. There's been such an investment into the community and into the kids in the high school program.
Now you watch from up top, though, correct?
Yes, I'm up top.
So
it's been the first time I've been up top for 20-some years, and I'm getting old, and my eyes are going on me and stuff. But Coach Ayala is kind of running the stuff from the field, and it's been a pretty good team.
Now, what's the communication between you, Coach Ayala, and you when you calling plays and whatnot? You're on headsets saying this will work, this won't work, or how do you go about
that? Well, I usually try to call the plays that work. Coach Ayala, on the other hand, you know what I mean, he calls the plays that can't be stopped. So that's kind of how it goes.
I was wondering where you were going with that. Yeah, you threw me for a curve there.
We kind of get the bait, throw it to Brooks, or let Jacob take off, or bring Joey in the game. So we have some options,
right?
But we're just constantly communicating, just seeing what teams are doing. Teams are trying to take away. I will say that this is the first year. I mean, especially early in the season. I mean, I saw some defenses, people running some things at us that I just hadn't seen in a really, really long time.
Right.
Guys are dropping, like they're just defenses. I didn't even know what to call them. It was wild. People were trying to take all these things away, and but again, we settled in, and it's been pretty good.
Now, playing the Toms River right at the beginning, did that kind of let you see where you were at offensively? And 9 wins in a row is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, honestly, for myself, and I probably with the kids, and I know the coach staff, I wish we had a chance to play that one back. Obviously you can't do that. There's no
right.
Coulda, shouldas in football.
Yeah, there's no reverse button.
No, but I wish we would have had that one back. We could have done some different things in that game. I mean, I don't think we played our best. I don't think that team is kind of the team that we are right now.
Right.
It absolutely gave us a kind of clear sight of where we needed to go and where we needed to get better at. And, it's a great football team, Toms River North. And, but again, it gave us kind of a good marker to where we needed to really go.
And listen, I mean, this is why a lot of schools will stay away from playing a game of that magnitude because they know what it is in the beginning of the season, whereas we're willing to take that kind of a game on because we're just open to playing the best that you can ask for, just because we want to prepare ourselves for what we're in now. So there's value in playing the schedule that we play, where some coaches will shade away. They want some of the cupcake games. They're content with going undefeated or whatnot.
Right.
Whereas we're battle tested. We've seen a lot of different scenarios throughout the season to put ourselves in this situation.
Now, playing in a game like that, the Battle at the Beach, that's a big-time tournament. You right away, you're highlighting your squad in front of a lot of people. So that's what you're talking about, getting the best competition out there.
Yeah, just to be battle-tested. I mean, there's value in it, I think, at least for the guys, So now, coming out of halftime, we're adjusting to different things based on what's happened. If we're down at going into the half, we're making these adjustments. If they're gashing us on something defensively, we're making adjustments. If offensively we're not going, we're just in every aspect. We've seen a lot of different football situations. So
now the halftime adjustments that you make, you talk things over with everybody on how to get to second half. If there's anything going wrong, what we need to change, and does it happen most of the time that they make those changes?
Yeah, one of the great things with our kids is we have a very, very high-functioning football group, right? Football players. I've been in situations where it's really teaching the kids.
Right.
Obviously, we're always trying to teach and kind of get kids better.
Sure.
But our kids are just very, very good. With just being able to make adjustments. Talking football with them. We always talk to the guys about have football answers. Answer in football terms, and our kids are really, really good with that. And that's credit to Coach Ayala.
I have to mention, what is a football question and answer now that you bring it up that way?
Well, okay. I mean, we can bring Jacob in on this one. Jacob knows how to. He's pretty good at it. I'm open. Or hey, run this play. Or this or that, so it's like okay, maybe if the linebacker is kind of cheating inside and we got the outside thing, okay, now you're saying maybe slants there, that kind of stuff. So they're really good at that, and I think it kind of helps us when we get into those situations where we got to get to a quick fix pretty fast.
Now again, we can't reverse time or anything, but if you had that second half or more time to really get that 14-7 loss. Might have been because the offense was getting it together in the second half, if I remember correctly. You looked a little more acclimated to it, and if you had another quarter or so, maybe that could have turned it around a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think we kind of ran out a little bit of time. But it was the game was a lot closer than well, it's a 14-7 game. It was a close game, but we had a couple opportunities ourselves. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot on some things, but there's definitely some things that we could. Unfortunately, you can't do it again, but we
just learn from it.
We learn from it.
That's what I say. You have all the game films, obviously, and you see what didn't work that day, and you say, this is what we have to fix. And again, that's led to 9 straight victories for the most part, I would think.
Yeah, we've cleaned it up. Again, our defense has been phenomenal all year. Offensively, our kids have gotten better each week. I mean, we're big just with progression. Just show progress in practice, progress in games, progress all the way. And we right now our practices are lights out. Our kids are flying around in practice. So we're doing the right things with our preparation, and the result is what you're seeing.
They practice like the game is really happening.
Without a doubt.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. We're going to take another time out here. We're going to talk to our players. The Zamat brothers, is that fair enough to say?
Yep.
The Zamat brothers, we'll call them the Zamat brothers. Jacob and Joseph, we'll have their conversation with you right after this message.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
If the time comes, be ready. Learn CPR and join the nation of lifesavers. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Allen Associates is a family-owned and operated full-service agency, managing a broad base of clients in the New Jersey area. Allen Associates has been a leader in health benefits and financial services including health, prescription, life insurance, pension, 401k plans, and estate planning. With more than 60 years of experience and a staff of highly trained and dedicated professionals, Allen Associates is noted for its ability to build strong, long-term relationships with our clients and the communities we serve. Give them a call today at 856-692-2250. Allen Associates, your complete health and financial services, Vineland, New Jersey.
Well, welcome back to our Coach's Corner, our weekly session of Millville football as we prepare for the South Jersey Sectional Championship game, Group 4, Millville hosting Mainland. And we have our players segment coming up right now, and we are very privileged to have the brothers that are making it happen throughout the season, along with the other 20-some-odd players. But these two guys that you see right there in the TV, Jacob and Joseph Zamat, are anchors of the defense on offense. Of course, our quarterback is Jacob Zamat. Jacob, what has this season been like for you guys?
As far as me, or just like
let's start off with you.
Well, I'd say me, I feel like it was a little slow start, but like ups and downs. Everyone faces adversity, so I feel like with the past, I'd say a couple 5 weeks, we've really been turning things around. Especially I feel like the first time we played Shawnee and on, I feel like I've been lights out offensively. We've been in a groove, and things are going great right now. Like I said, it's playoff time, so there's no better time to be playing your best ball right now. So.
Absolutely, this is the time of year to do it. And when you have players like the ones that you have, the running backs, and of course the front line, again, I don't want to,
knock off
belittle anything about the front line because those guys are the anchors to get anything going. But first, let's start with the running backs. I mean, you've got these running backs that are, it doesn't matter who you're handing the ball off to, they're going to get the job done because the blocking is excellent and they find the holes. They seem to have great vision of where they're going, too. That's what is great about it, too. So talk about the running game.
I mean, I'd say, like, the run game helps open up, the pass game. So for us to have, such a dominant run game, like I said, with the O-line and then with the 3 running backs we got, I think they're all studs, So I feel like, with them, whenever they get their groove going and we start, running the ball a lot, that just helps me out. Basically helps open up the pass game. The defense tends to bring more guys in the box, and that just opens up the pass game for me. So
absolutely. Now, of course, Coach Crowley mentioned that every one of these running backs want the ball. There is a pretty good, variety of who gets the ball at what times. But whether it's Wallace, Demir, Sharp, any one of those guys can break a play at any moment. So that's got to be an exciting thing to watch. You just hand the ball off and watch it happen, right? What's it like to see these guys do that?
I mean, sometimes, let's say whenever like Sharp or Demir or any of them, man, when I give them the ball and I see them, make a move and like run down the side, I'm just sitting there watching. I'm hoping they score. I'm just watching them, make the plays. It's obviously awesome because, like I said, with them constantly, having great games, running the ball, that just, it just helps the entire offense out. Not just the pass game, not just me, but us pulling more points up on the board is always a good thing. So.
Does any of these runs amaze you when they do one of those magic runs?
I'd say a lot of them. They're all special in their own way. So like Sharp, our elusive guy. Demir is just like a hard runner, and then Wallace is just like a wrecking ball. So they all have their best traits to running the ball. But whenever they break one free or just watching them work, it's definitely great.
Yeah,
to see.
You've got the best seat in the house to watch that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now they run the ball well, so that opens up the passing game for you. I'm going to ask, are you confident enough to just throw the ball up and watch one of your guys make the play?
100%.
You just put it out there and they do it.
Yeah, like I said, I have all in the world trust in my receivers. Brooks, Teron, even Reggie. We have a few other guys that can go out there and make plays. But for me to be able to have the receivers I have, it's a great thing, and I have great chemistry with them. So, like I said, right now, the timing, everything is at its best right now. So everything's going pretty good.
I just love watching Brooks do what he does. I mean,
he's special,
he makes people miss, and that at this level is not easy to do. He just finds ways to get through people, and as Coach said, people run into each other defensively, and that's the ball game. And he turns a little play into the biggest play possible.
Yeah, he's special, like I said. So whenever I feel like my favorite ball, to throw to him is a deep ball because I have such a strong arm. He's so fast. I can just drop back, air it out, and I know he'll run under it. But I feel like the special plays that he makes, or like even when I throw him like a little 3-yard screen, he would make somebody miss and take it 80 yards.
The Shawnee game. That was another one that he did. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a special kid, man.
I just love watching them dodge people, and they're just like flailing away and not coming up with anything. So that's pretty exciting to watch. Senior plan, so any colleges interested?
Oh, yeah, I have a few offers, a few interests, but I'm just taking I'm worried about the season right now. My goal is to win another state championship, and I'll focus on college and stuff when the season ends. So
no front runners or anything? It's okay if you don't want to mention.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't say. Like I said, I'm just weighing out all my options, and we'll see what happens.
And what year varsity is this for you?
Well, I've been on varsity since I was a freshman, but this is my second year starting as a quarterback. Yeah.
And have you noticed the tradition that this program is building? You've been on the state playoffs. Have you been in it every 4 years now?
Well, our freshman year, it was the COVID year, so we didn't really have a full season. But every full season since my sophomore year, we've been one of the top teams in the state, winning championships. So it's awesome.
Okay. Just a real quick thing. What do you think about this Mainland? I'm going to get your opinion on this.
I'm not going to say too much for now. I'm going to just, save my talk for,
No
tomorrow.
Bulletin board material?
I mean, like I said, I feel like we had a great week of practice, so we're just going to go out there and execute the game plan, the coaches put up for us. So, like I said, we just go out there and play our game, it should be a good night for us.
Now, the last year was 18-14, if I remember correctly, and couple of big defensive stands when you needed them at the end. That one kickoff return that almost went the distance. Who was it that made the tackle on that kickoff?
Sear, right? I think it was Sear Cornish.
That probably saved the whole game in a way.
Season, man.
They score there. I don't know if you can come back all the way. and the winning touchdown came in the last few seconds, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 30 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
I handed the ball off to Sharp on like the 20-yard line. He just broke it free up the middle and scored. Yeah.
Those are memories that you're never going to forget,
never,
right?
Yeah, never going to forget them.
All right, the other brother here, Jacob, is the quarterback, Joseph Samat. You've really made a name for yourself this year. The games that I've seen, the Cherokee game, this game here, what does it feel like to take an interception back to the house?
It feels great, you know. All my other picks, I always get tackled, so all my coaches always tell me, like, take one to the crib. So this one feels better than all the other ones.
I have to remember that.
Especially
the
Coach
crib,
Ayala.
I like that.
Last time I was on the show, he told me score next time, and that's what I did.
Defense. Well, it's good to listen to Coach.
Yeah.
Defensively, your 11 players that are on the field, they swarm to the ball, which is really a great thing to see. And you don't give teams any chance to breathe, it seems.
Yeah.
Front line is getting it done, getting to the quarterback, and not giving up any rushing yards. Shawnee was stymied the whole game with the running game. And just the pursuit of the football that you guys have, you don't see that all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
So
Appreciate
is that what you practice on, getting to the ball quickly,
Yeah,
no matter who it is?
So our coaches, you know, in practice, we always say 11 man to the ball.
Right.
So even when the plays like over, we all still run to the ball most of the time. So our coaches appreciate our practice. So yeah, we work on it and we do it in the game.
And I love the fact that each one of you high-five each other when you make a big play. So the team unity is amazing. That's another thing I want to get to.
I don't even know how they remember all the different handshakes. They got like a
well, aren't
million.
those choreographed in practice too? or
Yeah,
no?
so in practice, when offense is practicing, we're on the sideline just making up handshakes. So when we need plays, we just do that.
I love it. This is internal stuff
Now
you don't get
I'm gonna
anywhere.
look for it. I'm going to look for it so we can shut that down. No, okay.
No, it's football at this level has to be a lot of fun. I mean, you want to win. Don't get me wrong. You want to prepare to win. You want to work hard. But if you're not having fun at this level,
I think we believe, like, you know, you want your structure, but
Right.
but I'm not about militant. Like it doesn't need like shoulder to shoulder quiet. Like there's times where we get a little loose, but they've been pretty good for the most part during the season. Like, you know, I like a loose atmosphere. I want the players to be who they are. I don't want to restrict them from being. You know, the one thing I always say is I want you to show your swag. I want you to be you. You know, because when a kid is who they are, they're loose, they're free, and they play at their optimal. And that's what I want. When they feel like they're restricted and they're in too much of a structure, they're restrained and they're held back, and you're not getting the full person.
Not only that, but when things go wrong, the stress level, you don't want them to be stressed about it.
No, our guys are loose. Our guys are good. Yeah, they feel good.
I'll have to come to practice and see some of that. But the defense has been excellent, and you have Lazio as well on defense and a few other. Talk about I can never say his name, Blackwood. Yeah, he's another one that just seems. Marcus Offer always seems to be involved in the play.
Yeah, he's great, you know. So when he gets in the game, he's always explosive to make plays for us. So we're always hyping him up and stuff like that. I feel like he's one of the best defensive ends in the state. All of our D linemen are like the best. We have the best defensive linemen in the state. That's what I believe.
Talk about some of the other players on defense.
Asir Cornish, he's the man that runs the show. You know, he's a middle linebacker. He's the leader of the defense. Kyan's the one he's a ball hawk. Brooks can lock down any receiver in the state, so we're not worried about him. Our other defensive back, you know, he just as good as Brooks.
Right.
And, you know, we all just do our 111. We all just show out.
So when somebody, you or Brooks or whoever gets the interception, it's like a cavalcade to the end zone. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Take it to the crib. I got to remember that one.
So in practice, we do this one drill where we catch interceptions,
Okay.
and we all have to we have a blocking assignment, so we know who we're supposed to block. So you know when we practice stuff in practice, it works in the game.
It certainly showed in the Cherokee game, that interception.
Yes,
you don't run interceptions back 90 yards. That just doesn't happen. But that was obvious on that you guys practice it, and it works when the time comes, so that's always good. Any aspirations college-wise for you?
You know, there's some colleges looking at me, FCS schools, a low FBS, but, you know, taking my time. I'm only a junior. I got some time left. Just focusing on the season, and I'll, you know, get a decision and
so you get to come back with Lazio next year.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be a fun time too, right?
No, we're hyped about that. We're excited. We're going to run the show.
You heard that, right, Coach? They're going to run the show. All right, we're going to take.
I do always say it's their show.
Well, you know, it is. As somebody once told me, you're prisoners of your talent. Yeah. And obviously, these kids have a lot of talent. And the grouping, like I said, the 11 players that are on the field at any time can make something good happen. And that's what's exciting about Millville football right now. So you deserve a lot of credit for that, Coach, and any of the coaching staff. We're going to take a quick break here and talk about the upcoming game that it's not going to be seen locally until like a delayed broadcast because of the rights situation and all that. But we'll talk about Mainland coming up next. Stay with us here on Quinn Broadcasting's Coach's Corner.
Allen Associates is a family-owned and operated full-service agency, managing a broad base of clients in the New Jersey area. Allen Associates has been a leader in health benefits and financial services including health, prescription, life insurance, pension, 401k plans and estate planning. With more than 60 years of experience and a staff of highly trained and dedicated professionals, Allen Associates is noted for its ability to build strong, long-term relationships with our clients and the communities we serve. Give them a call today at 856-692-2250. Allen Associates, your complete health and financial services, Vineland, New Jersey.
Hello, my name is Craig Atkinson, and I am president of the Millville Thunderbolt Club. The mission of the Thunderbolt Club is to enhance the athletic experience of Millville High School student athletes. We provide a myriad of services for these athletes, including end-of-year recognition banquets for all teams, stipends for teams and individual athletes, college scholarships of $35,000 per year, meals for special events, as well as hosting the Mike Trout Millville Thunderbolt Club Golf Tournament and the Millville Sports Hall of Fame. Please visit our website at millvillethunderboltclub.com for additional information.
CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Visit heart.org/nation.
Welcome back to our last quarter of Coach's Corner right here. It's been a great season and hopefully gets greater with the passing weeks. We have Mainland tomorrow night. And again, going back to the Mainland game last year, I guess you guys trailed for most of the game, correct?
Yeah.
Just talk about what you remember about that game and how thrilling that victory wound up being.
I mean, listen, it was the victory that punched our ticket to a state title, state title shot. I remember it was... I'll tell you what I remember from it. It was cold as heck.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Windy.
It was cold, and you had 20-mile-an-hour gusting winds.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, people don't remember that, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we were, one of our biggest aspects of our game was throwing the football. And you had to kind of, you throw into the wind, dropped,
Yeah.
You throw with the wind, it's an extra 10 yards sailing, So, we had to adapt and adjust in games, in the game. We were fortunate that our defense kept everything at bay. Because, Mainland has the ability so they could just break a run off and go 70 yards with it. So our defense kept things at bay and, came down to the last drive. They held them and, we were able to punch it in.
Now, the fact that you won in an exciting fashion, of course, they're going to remember that too. Sure. So Mainland coming into John Barbow Stadium on tomorrow night, what do you think their mentality is going to be like?
I mean, listen, we always preach. That's why we got it on our rings last year, is respect the game.
Okay.
They've worked just as hard as us to get to this point. I mean, they got a great coaching staff over there. I'm sure those young men are just as hungry as us to be in this situation. Their city's happy to be in this situation. So I can't sit here and say what they're saying to their kids, but I can guarantee you they're saying enough to get them ready mentally and physically to play this game. Is there a fine line between saying, remember last year, and just playing the game? Sometimes you psych yourself out if you say, I don't want to call it a revenge game, but you know what I'm saying. Sure. I mean, we don't look like, the past is the past, outside of us talking about last year now. We don't
Mhm.
bring it back. We do let our guys know that, you know, that's what they use to drive them through the
Right.
winter and to prepare themselves to get to this moment. You know, they
Mhm.
use that. But, I mean, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, I don't think, because, you know, a coach has got to try to find whatever they can find in order to get their team to play at the highest level they can play at.
Talking about getting back to a question about throwing and playing against the wind.
Mhm.
What's that like as a quarterback when you know you got to be very fine? If you're going to throw the ball, you have to be very fine. with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough. You know, going into that game, like I said, you know, we've been knew what the weather was gonna be like. So especially like getting there and like feeling the wind pre-game, you know, it was tough. But like I said, I just had to try and, you know, not to get frustrated, and you know, I just trying to play my game to the best I could. And you know, hit guys, you know, when we threw the ball. But you know, like I said, we were more run game,
Right.
run for that game, which makes sense. But you know, when we threw the ball, I say, you know, we were pretty, you know, we executed most of the time when we threw the ball. But it was definitely a little tough.
Yeah, I got to see a couple of things from last year, and I think it was Naeem Sharp that talked about how cold it was.
Yeah.
So it was.
He's not a big kid, so yeah. So yeah, he was cold. I mean, a lot of people. Listen, we were all. That was the coldest game I've ever been a part of.
Right.
You know, and I've been around, you know, a good amount. So I mean, and I think they'll all tell you firsthand how cold it was.
Yeah.
I think one player's like, we tried to say they were gonna tough it out. Like, it was Tehran. He's like, I'm gonna go out there with no shirt, no sleeves on. Yeah, those sleeves went on pretty quick.
Yeah.
You can talk a tough game, but when you get the elements, it might not be quite the same.
Yeah.
The games that followed, not as cold. Do you recall?
Thanksgiving was
Thanksgiving
beautiful.
game was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
like,
real nice.
Was it like
Right.
60 or something like
Yeah.
that? And the state game was fine, but then after halftime, it kind of it picked up, like the wind picked up.
Yeah, it got a little chill.
It wasn't as bad because you're in a big stadium, but it picked
Right.
up and it got colder too.
Now
It was real cold feeling that water dumped on me at the end.
Yeah. How does a coach feel about that? I've always wanted to ask a coach. So I guess some like it, some
Not
don't.
feeling like it, I bet.
I'm just glad it happened then and not at the Mainland game. That was a lot colder.
I'm sure. All right, some of the players that Mainland has, the quarterback, I'm going to try to pronounce this, John Franchini,
yeah.
and they rely basically on the running game. Looking at some of their players, Stephen Ordili and Rocco DiBiaso. Those are the key players that you're going to focus on.
And then you got number 10 too. You got the Cook kid, who's
he's-
great athlete, basketball player, real good basketball. I've seen him on the basketball court. I mean, listen, they got athletes. They got athletes. They're well coached. They got good offensive coach, good defensive
Right.
coach. Head coach has been around for a long time. They're a run team, but they're gonna try to lull you to sleep and then get you over the top and try to pass it. And quarterback can let it go. He's got a decent arm. I think he's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. He's
a
young.
sophomore. So, what they execute what they do. They execute at a high level.
Right.
So.
Now, they've scored, I just totaled it up real quick, 471 points in their 11 games. That's a lot of points in the game. How do you stymie their running game so that doesn't happen on Friday?
You've seen our defense, right?
I've seen it, yeah. And I like that answer.
So,
I'm
trying to, as confident and as humble as I could be. Is like,
Right.
I mean, yeah, they got a good offense, but they haven't seen a defense like what we have. So, are they going to come in and execute some different things to try to get what they need to get? Of course they are. That's because they have a good staff over there. But we have a good defensive coaching staff, and we got great defensive players. We got great size. We got great speed. So I'm confident in our game plan that we can execute the game plan. If we execute the game plan the right way, we'll be successful.
Now, the running game, you've shut down just about every running game that I've seen this year. If you do that against Mainland, I like your chances of winning. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, you shut the – I mean, they're not – it's not like they're going to go out there and sling it 15, 16 times.
They don't
if
pass
they're
the
doing
ball
that,
much.
If they're doing that, then they're out of character, and it plays into our benefit. So, I mean, so we just got to, play it and just make sure that we're executing at the level we're supposed to.
Okay, and the Ordili's, from what I've seen, he usually gets 100 yards a game. So if you keep him around 80, 75, that's a big win for you guys to start with.
Sure.
The running game, of course, is what they feast on, but Mainland, I know you're right. I haven't seen too many Mainland games, but year in and year out, like you said, they're right among the thick of things. Last year, of course, they got within seconds of moving on themselves. So this competition, what do you think it's going to take for you to come up victorious, at least by 1 point tomorrow?
Listen, just gotta make sure everybody's on the same page. Make sure we're executing offensively, defensively, and then special teams as well. You know, it's a third of the game, so we got to make sure that we execute on every facet of the game, and no turnovers, right? No turnovers, at least for us. You know, we want our defense to get turnovers. So I mean, as long as we kind of just do what we're doing and we're playing at a high level, I believe what will come out successful.
I want to ask Joe here. Turnovers defensively that you guys collect. Are you looking to do a couple of those tomorrow?
Yeah, yes, sir. We're always looking for turnovers, and we always want to score on them, too. We don't, like, if we see a ball on the ground, we want to pick it up and go score unless it's like a big crowd, then we'll jump on it.
Right.
If not, we want to end up scoring it.
Will that happen tomorrow? A couple of turnovers?
We'll see. I'm hoping so. I probably will, but we'll see.
Just stop the run. You'll be in good shape tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
I think we're just about out of time, but again, just an overall prediction about this week. And, of course, if you get to the state championship games, you think you're ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, that's why we
That's
play.
A dumb question, by the way.
I mean, listen, that's why you practice and you go through the process all year. That's why we played the schedule that we played. That's why we took and chose to take the Battle of the Beach game that we took,
right?
To prepare us for this moment. You know, I mean, these young men put in everything. They put aside a part of their lives to, you know, be in this moment. So they want it, and they're going to go out there tomorrow and show it.
Scoring first, is that a key part of this game as well?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you always want to score first, you know. But you know, our goal is just go out there and play football and let the chips fall where they fall. You know, it's scary on Broad Street.
I saw the Broad Street Bolts.
Broad Street Bullies.
Bullies. Well, that goes back into the 70s. I know you've been told that, but yeah, being a hockey fan, I remember the Stanley Cup years. But tomorrow night's going to be a game that we're not, unfortunately, going to be able to broadcast here on Quinn Broadcasting. The rights belong to NJ.com, but as I understand it, we'll have a radio audio feed on 96.1 tomorrow, 96.1 FM. That is where you can hear the audio feed from the game. And as I understand it, there is a 72-hour rule where you can rebroadcast the game. So we're hoping to have the game, no matter win or lose, hopefully win. We're going to broadcast that on Monday night here on Quinn Broadcasting. So those of you who want to see it can't be out there tomorrow night. And I invite everybody to go out to the game. Tomorrow night's a big game. $5 tickets, I understand. That's easy enough to do. So get out there and root on the Thunderbolts. And again, if you don't get a chance to go out there, we will try to broadcast that game Monday night. See whether or not Millville or Mainland advances. We all know that we want the orange and blue, the OBG gang, to be there. So that's going to be exciting. If you can make it out there, by all means do it. If not, just watch us here on Monday night. I'm not sure about the exact time. Somewhere 8:30 is when we'll have the game. We have a Powder Puff game to present to you on Monday night as well. So that's coming up on Monday. Guys, congratulations on a great season so far. Let's hope there's a lot more congratulations to pass around to you guys. And
Thank you.
You guys have given us exciting football all season long. Let's do it 3 more times, okay?
Sounds good.
Our guests, again, Coach Ayala, Chris Crowley, our offensive coordinator, and the Zamat brothers, Joey and Jacob. All these people here, along with everybody else that's a member of the team, has really provided a lot of fireworks, a lot of thunder and lightning, if you will, and they're going to try to do it again tomorrow night against Mainland. I want to thank Jim Quinn for allowing me to be here tonight. Tony Trongone on assignment elsewhere. We'll just leave it at that. But it's always my pleasure and honor to be among sports athletes in the Millville area. So I enjoyed myself this hour. Hopefully you guys did too. Let's go win one tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care and watch the game. If you can't make it out there, it'll be on Monday night right here on Quinn Broadcasting. Good night, everybody.
Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.